Win or lose, expect the unexpected from the most aggressive team in the league.
Here we go, Chicago Aftershock about to take on Tampa Bay Damage. This is the first game of the year for both of these two teams, and both these teams have their unique stories. Tampa Bay Damage, they were the champions from 2011, and they have a pretty different squad than they did that year. Last year, they had, in the offseason, they lost Dave Baines, Justin Rabikoff, and
Alex Goldman,
who was only on the team for a brief time, but he's such a big star in the sport that, but they have an answer for each one of those losses. Jason Edwards is our People's Choice MVP award winner from last season and one of the best players in the game. So they have a Dave Baines quality player in Jason Edwards, and he's actually more mobile than Dave Baines is. And they brought back Brian Smith this year to play on the Snakes. Well, we'll see where he plays, but typically he became paintball famous by playing that snake.
And if he can get back to his old form, that'll be big for Damage, because he was solid on the snake for years for those guys. So
yeah, I mean, Damage, they always had an answer. It's not like they lost those players and then they had to go out and find somebody else. They had a deep roster from the beginning, and which was, one of the reasons why there's a little turmoil there at the end, is because, not enough playing time for all these good players, and I guess that's a good problem to have.
It is a good
problem. While everybody is there and playing hard and committed, but, once everybody starts getting that, like, hey, man, I'm playing good, I want to play more, things can go sour. But, this is the team that I really like here for Tampa Bay Damage, with the addition of Rainey, but, having that really solid all Florida team, just like one hired gun really, in Rainey Stanzak, who is actually getting the start. He's out there right now in the back center. He's going to be running with Brian Smith, Chad Boussiere, and Timmy Propes to get this 2013 started off for Tampa Bay Damage. Chicago Aftershock can be running with Eric Daly, AJ Lawhead, Trevor Regan, Caleb Abel, and can't quite see who else is down there yet, but Kirk Wozni actually tore a groin. One of the guys that played really well for them last year tore his groin, so he's not going to be playing this event.
Yeah, that's going to be a hit for them, but we'll see here, as Aftershock, known for their incredibly aggressive breakouts, and they do go to the snake one off the break. They lose the back corner bunker on the snake side. They still have 4 bodies left alive, and Damage doubling up that back center bunker. Little very conservative breakout for Tampa Bay Damage. That's the most conservative breakout that Damage could have taken, and we're really wanting to assure they keep 5 bodies alive, which they did. Rainey running out to the back corner bunker on the snake, and they have 3 players on the snake side for Tampa Bay Damage right now. But Davey Simmons is in awesome. Is that Davey Simmons or Regan? But Chicago Aftershock is at the 50-yard line. They do this all the time. They're able to get into really good positions, but then they struggle to do something from that position. So
yeah,
let's see.
Davey Simmons. And behind Davey Simmons, still alive, you got Trevor Regan.
And he takes him out. Look at that. Brian Smith looking too quick and gets him.
It's a good job right there by Davey Simmons.
Get clipped? Man, he just stayed alive there.
Yeah, so Simmons was in a really good spot, and Smith also got taken out there. So a war of attrition over here on the snake side of the field. Both teams with the player in snake 1. Rainey Stanzik backing up Tim Probst.
And here comes Chad Boussiere.
Ready to drop the hammer.
Ooh, man, so many times. We've seen that so many times from so many different angles, so many tournaments.
Well, the thing about Chad is, he just has such ridiculous burst speed, Todd, and you've always said that you know, the fastest guy bunker to bunker in the sport of paintball is Chad Bouchier.
Yes. You know, it's not just the fact that he can get from flag station to flag station at a certain speed. It's when he's such a smart, talented player that he recognizes situations, you know, very quickly. And the fact that he can get from bunker to bunker so quickly is just what makes his game so dynamic. He looks up, recognizes the bodies, and before that player's out of his bunker, he's bunkering his buddy.
Yep.
You know, and it's like it's so hard to react to that, you know, because players are seeing bodies die around them, have to figure out the situation, try and react, and by the time you do that, Chad Bouchier's on the other side of your bunker. Well, check out this replay real quick, as you're going to see Chad coming from the distance to put it right down on the dome piece in that game. Put 1 point on the board for Tampa Bay Damage. Aftershock had good field position, wasn't able to get anything out of it, and stepping on the field right now, big Jason Edwards coming in with his squad. Daniel Holiday, Jacob Edwards,
Keith Brown,
and I think Brian Smith's coming back out again for another spin. So,
but Tampa Bay looked sharp.
Yeah, good first game by Brian Smith. You know, got caught by Davey Simmons. But he is going to be playing on the snake side, as we've seen him come out here now, lining up on that side again with Daniel Holiday. Keith Brown bolted out to that Dorito 1 on the break. You know, got in there quick. Tampa Bay Damage doubled up that can. Aftershock came really hard towards the snake side and got in there, got position, just wasn't able to capitalize. And that's what we've seen a lot from Aftershock, you know, getting spots. And
they finished off last year like that, and they definitely came to play. Let's see what they can do.
So on the D side breakout for Tampa Bay Damage, that's Keith Brown on your screen, making it to the Dorito corner. Start going to work on the inside right away. Jacob Edwards just next to him in that stand-up can. He's getting a check from the ref. Keith Brown makes his bump up to Dorito 2. Tampa Bay Damage tried to go up the middle with Jason Edwards. Came out, tried to lock off the Dorito side of the field from that small wedge, and he gets chopped up. So 4 bodies alive, but Daniel Holiday in Snake 2 and working across the field for Damage with Brian Smith behind him.
And if AJ Lawhead can stay in that Dorito, 50 Dorito there, play tight, play smart, maybe he can pick off some more of these guys here.
Yeah, and Holiday's so versatile. As you see him, he's in Snake 1 or Snake 2, and Daniel Holiday. Major on Keith Brown.
Nope, that looks like Jacob.
Oh, Jacob Edwards drawing that red flag major penalty, so 2 minutes will go on the board. He's going to have to stay in there the whole time. Minor penalties come off, and major penalties stay on whether you win or lose the point. So they are going to lose that point, and here comes Chicago Aftershock to tie it up. Nice job by Trevor, Caleb Abel, AJ Lawhead, and Christopher Jansen cleaning that up.
Yeah, AJ Lawhead was the guy that's been on Aftershock for a few years now. You know, a little bit longer than just last season, the rebuilding season. You know, one of those Midwest guys. I mean, he played really well for them at the end of the season last year. So hopefully, you know, I know Bruno's depending on him to be another very productive player for Aftershock this year.
And we're going to be right back after these messages. Do not go anywhere.
ANSgear.com has the world's largest inventory of paintball equipment, including guns, masks, loaders, paintballs, tanks, and clothing. With free shipping on all orders over $100. Shop now at ANSgear.com.
And you're looking at Kevin Brethauer, new coach for Tampa Bay Damage, taking over the reins from Paul Richards, who leaves to go to San Antonio X Factor. And Kevin Brethauer, been the coach of the Los Angeles Ironmen, did a real good job with a young, inexperienced crew last year, made Sunday every event, and now is helping out Tampa Bay Damage in their amazing roster of talent. So we will see how it progresses for him, integrating into the Damage program in 2013. But they're real happy with him, and he's real happy to be over there. So it's probably going to be a real good relationship for the two, for those.
Yeah, he'll fit in well with
entities.
those guys. Known him for years. He'll listen to him.
Mm-hmm. So we all tied up right here. Let's see if Shock can keep this up. Playing one of the best teams in the world.
With a major penalty. Aftershock playing 5-on-4 on the breakout. They come hard towards the Dorito side. and Daniel Holiday gets shot early, dives into his bunker, looks towards the Dorito side, and gets clapped up. He's running off the field right now. So 5-on-3, Aftershock with all of its bodies.
And this is where you gotta put it on them. If you want to keep those guys, especially this team, you want to take advantage of those majors.
Aftershock, they don't want to be one of those teams that gets relegated. They don't want to be one of those teams that gets off to a slow start. Coming out here and attacking Damage.
And sure enough, we finally see somebody play up in that center, and it's Trevor Regan, who's got a real good lockdown. I mean, look at this angle right here. Trevor Regan wrapping around, able to lock down. He's going to try to wrap around that bunker and then try to get shots down here as long as that Dorito side is contained. So nice job by Trevor Regan to get up there.
And David Simmons for Aftershock, he needs to get down the snake and go all the way down there. If you play around against Damage, they will pick you off. This is what their specialty is. They don't panic. And he needs to get going, which he is here, but he needs to get really going down here.
And on cue, there he goes, all the way into Snake 2, and I think he just shot Jason Edwards. Jason Edwards tucks in.
Oh, take out another Aftershock at the center.
Oh, and so Regan gets shot up there, and Simmons has got to be careful. He almost caught one from the back, as here comes Chad Boussier, able to make moves up that Dorito side, and now he's, but he's going to get caught. Yeah, Chad getting caught cross field by Davey Simmons, but then Davey Simmons comes over the top. He gets a little bit greedy. Got to be careful. I don't know. I thought I saw something come off in him, but no. Now finally he's going to take one.
Jacob should be coming out of the box here in about 5 seconds.
And they pulled it out.
This is just quintessential Aftershock right here. Awesome field position. They have their front guys attacking. They get far up the field and then just not able to capitalize on it. You know, they get in these really good spots, but they're just really struggling once they get there. And they need to, when they are able to get in those drills, they have to do situational drills. You know, put a guy all the way past the 50-yard line, and then what are you going to do from there? You know, that's step one, man, is get there. Well, step one, stay alive off the break.
When you had him 5-on-3, that coach, whoever's coaching here, needs to tell that snake player to go down the snake.
Yeah, and I mean, AJ Lawhead was in the 50 Dorito. He was the first body to go down. Then Trevor Regan out of that middle. He didn't really have any help on the wire because all the other bodies were on the snake side. And then Aftershock is just, you know, I hate saying the same things over and over again, but you really got to work together.
Yeah, so need to pick it up. The score is now 2-1. They're still in this, though. Let's check out this replay here. And you're look at this breakout here. So we have Shock and Damage, and here comes Aftershock. And the difference is, if we can play this through a little bit, Damage is on the bottom part of your screen, and his Shock is going to be able to get all the way up in here. Let's look at this lane as we move through this. You see he's coming up there. Trevor Regan stops there, and he's going to come around and try to get into this side. And check it out from this next angle right here. So now Shock, bottom portion of your screen. And Regan able to get in right here, and then he's able to come around and get all the way up into past that 50-yard line, and Shock really pushing hard and aggressive. So nice job by Aftershock to get position. They also all the way into the snake over here, but the problem, man, Todd, not able to capitalize.
No, I mean, they just didn't work together. They had bodies, they had field position, and then it was, you know, everybody individually try and shoot out the last 3 guys. Not you put some pressure while I move, you tell me where he's looking, tell me what I have available, and then I am a smart player and I know my shots and I get the kills as a front guy. But nope, Tampa Bay Damage, you know, one of the best teams in the league that playing down bodies.
They don't panic.
Not panicking.
Yep.
And, you know, communicating, and that's why Tampa Bay Damage has won so much.
Brian Smith into the snake one on the break as they eliminate Aftershock. So Aftershock's down 1, but Damage is walking up with 2.
Yeah, Rainey Stanzik, he got shot coming across from the middle bunker. Timmy Probst gets shot. Caleb Abel gets shot for Aftershock.
Bodies just dropping everywhere, Todd.
Yeah, but Brian Smith still alive in that snake. He goes straight to Aftershock's side of the field. He's got no pressure down the wire. There's only 2 bodies in front of him as Aftershock takes off running for dear life all the way from the Dorito side around to the corner.
He didn't have to go all the way there. He could have stopped at any one of those little Aztecs there. So
yeah, that doesn't usually work so well.
But he gets eliminated. Smith gets eliminated. So it looks like it's a 2-on-1 right now. Aftershock. And is that Chad in the back there? Oh, it's 2-on-2.
here comes. Actually, there is one more body now in the 50 Dorito for Aftershock. Chad Boussiere coming across from the Dorito side to the Snake side. Going to look to put some paint in on that 50 Dorito. Chad gets into Snake 1 alive.
And there's Chad Boussiere in uncharted territory for him. We don't really see him in the Snake very much. But
Aftershock.
It's one-on-one. This guy.
Oh, major penalty. I think that might have been on Brian McKenna, who was trying to run down
Keith Brown,
but got taken out.
And that player's going to get pulled. So Chad Boussiere going to grab that flag. And there's McKenna, you see right now, asking questions. But the referee had a good angle from the Snake side of the field to see the inside of his body as he took off running, because Chad saw him go pretty much the whole way.
He did, and who knows when he got shot exactly, but obviously the ref saw it early enough that he decided that he needs to run to the box.
Yeah, and so McKenna getting that major penalty. Fortunate for Shock, that's going to send them down 3-1, and McKenna's going to have to serve all of that 2 minutes. We're going to be right back. We're back here, first day of competition at the season opener for the PSP season. I'm Matty Marshall alongside Todd Martinez and Steve Rabikoff, and we're watching Chicago Aftershock losing right now to Tampa Bay Damage, and it's the same story, just a different year so far, getting penalties and getting in good spots, but not able to do anything with them. And that's been Chicago Aftershock's issue. So, but the good news for Shock fans is that, they're still playing really aggressive. They still have the most talented players. They still have their group of talented guys, but they've just got to fix those problems if they want to contend with the best teams in the league.
Yeah, they definitely need to fix it. This game, it's 3-1 Damage. It could easily be 2-2 or opposite.
Yeah, I mean, you have to capitalize on the opportunities that are presented to you, because you don't often get free gifts like a major penalty in the first or second point and then don't do anything with it and lose the point. And then you get a major and give the favor right back to Tampa Bay Damage, who, I mean, you play 5-on-4 against these guys, this is going to be trouble. This next point right here, I mean, on a field like this with a major penalty, Damage against Aftershock, I mean, sometimes these can be 15, 20-second points, depending on how fast they walk the flag in.
And a team like Damage, you don't want to do that, because these guys have got the experience to put it on you when they need to put it on you.
Yeah, they know. And looking at the lineup that's out there right now, you got Smith, Holiday, Brown, and the Edwards brothers. I mean, that's pretty much the five we were talking about, aside from Chad Boussiere.
I mean, that's just a straight murderer's row of starting paintball players right there.
I mean,
and looks like we have referees are getting the 2-minute major penalty sorted out over there.
I mean, they put 2 minutes back on, but I think some of the time should have came off. 10 seconds now on the game clock, but I thought some of that time would have came off because he had ran back. But needless to say, here goes Aftershock with 4 guys. Split it out wide and go all the way to the Snake on the break. Does Aftershock?
Hey, if you're down, at least go all the way.
Yeah.
As the ref.
And he's probably going to get a penalty. So Davey Simmons trying to push a little bit too much into that gray area and drawing another major penalty. Really wanted to make that spot off the break and ended up catching one.
And there's a 30-second point.
So Jason Edwards is getting checked out, wants to make sure he's okay. Brian Smith giving him the once-over, and he's going to hang that flag.
Like, you're down, your team's already in a major. You didn't make it, just
Get out.
Get out. Just walk off. Now you put them in a double. So now you've left your buddies, your friends, but they got to play 3 on 5 now.
Well, it's tough because they got some guys out there doing a little bit of work, and Simmons is he's getting in the snake but getting those it's tough. He's been getting in there consistently, kind of struggling of what to do once he's in there, and then pushing a little bit too hard right here gets this major penalty. AJ Lawhead's out there doing some work. He has 9 confirmed kills in this match, so he's doing the majority, of the killing for Chicago Aftershock. Where Tampa Bay Damage, they're spreading it out. Though Jason Edwards, not surprising, has 4 confirmed kills. So, he's so consistent. So consistent.
Knows his role, does his job, and he's good at it.
And we're going to be right back after this messages, so do not go anywhere. So we are back now here in the pits with Chicago Aftershock. There's paintball legend Mikey Bruno, and he's one of the big reasons that Chicago Aftershock's name is as prevalent as it is when you start talking about the best teams ever. He was one of those impact, charismatic players that really defined a generation of when tournament paintball was first kind of coming on the world stage, and just started even to become a sport.
Yeah.
And was just always pushing the limit every possible way he could. And now he's got the reins.
Yeah, the definitions of players back then aren't the same what they are now, as Damage is just waltzing down the field right now, looking to bunker people at all costs. As Aftershock players, what's left of them, tried to break out and got annihilated.
Hey, look, Damage knows what's up. They're in the same bracket with Impact and Russian Legion, and they know Impact's got a 7-2 right now, so they want to get this 7-1.
Man, it's tough to play Damage with 5 guys.
Yeah, well, of course.
3 guys?
Yeah, I mean,
come on, man.
It's going to be tough. They kind of dig in their own graves here, and the last thing that Shock needs to do is to continue to get major penalties. I could just see the fume coming from Mikey Bruno's ears in the pit right now. And we'll be right back. See you in a second. So Damage 5, Aftershock 1, 12 minutes and 39 seconds remain here as we're heading into the afternoon's competition. Next up, Omaha Vicious going to be taking on Edmonton Impact, followed by Moscow Red Legion and Chicago Aftershock, and then Tampa Bay Damage and Omaha Vicious to close out the day.
Yeah, I mean, in this game right here, this is a tough one, but, Aftershock going to get another shot at it in that Legion game. In Legion, they didn't look all that spectacular in the beating that they just took from Impact, and like we said earlier, they're a team that can make adjustments. Aftershock is going to have to make some adjustments, but if they come out and start out the way that they started out, just still playing aggressively, I still feel like that is the way that you need to play this field. They just need to be better at what they're trying to accomplish. Right now they need to try and accomplish getting these 3 guys out to Anywhere Alive.
Anywhere Alive.
Try and run some 58 seconds off the clock.
Yeah. Just get to your bunkers.
And they get shot going to the snake corner.
And also in that center as well.
Just hide.
Yeah, it's going to be tough, man. Like you said, Todd, it's incredibly tough to play Tampa Bay Damage with 5 guys, let alone with 3. And we see another very quick point to make it 6-1 here, as Tampa Bay Damage trying to keep us on schedule today.
They're doing a good job.
They're doing a good job of it.
At the expense of Mike Bruno
Yeah.
and Aftershock, which the way the game started out, we had a game. It was going great.
Well, the thing about Shock is they always fight, but the problem is penalties, especially majors. If you get minors, okay, hey, minors are going to come. Minors are acceptable in the understanding that what are you going to do? You're going to be getting minor penalties occasionally, but if you get major penalties, especially 2 consecutively, and it's even anywhere near close to a match, and you're playing Tampa Bay damage, like that's just asking to get beat up for the rest of the game, which is what's happening right now.
Yeah, Trevor Regan had to be pretty upset when he got out that Dorito, and as he turned to the inside, saw everybody that started with him walking off the field. Got into it a little bit right there with Chad Bouchier, as they're all sharking down the field. Here's a replay on the breakout. You're going to see, here's Tampa Bay damage. And there goes Chad Bouchier right away up to that tall temple, right past it, to the pin, working that outside. The only guy that he's got to deal with is Regan in that can. And, once the whole snake side of the field dropped, then, he'd go wherever he wants. Everybody in the snake side took off. And, damage is up 6-1 with 12:20 left.
But, Shock needs to keep things in perspective. They're playing a team that's, they took second at the World Cup. This is a team that's going to contend for the title this year. And Shock came out last year with a bunch of divisional guys and reformed their team. And a lot of new things happened for them. And, Mikey Bruno pretty much understands exactly where they're at. He understands what they need to work on. The other issue for Shock is they live in Chicago. And in order for them to get a practice against other pro teams, they have to travel somewhere. So it's... They got some work that they need to do, and but they are incredibly entertaining to watch, and they are making steps in the right direction. But they've got to learn from their mistakes. We'll be right back after this.
Are you ready to be a national champion? Don't miss the NCPA High School National Championships this April and your chance to be televised on CBS Sports Network. Any eligible team can enter to compete at the national championships, but the NCPA is also hosting 7 regional championship events nationwide. Win regionals, and the NCPA will pay your entry, paint, and travel expenses to the nationals. All the information you need is at highschoolpaintball.com, but we also asked one of last year's teams to explain how to make it happen.
Break this down for me. If you win your region, then the NCPA pays for you guys to come here, essentially, right?
Essentially, yeah. We pay for our airfare to get here after winning regionals, and then when we get here, we get reimbursed a certain amount of money. We're getting reimbursed $1,500 because we came all the way from California, so it was a ways.
So it makes it a little bit easier on the pocketbook.
Yeah, it's the only way we were able to do it.
That's awesome.
We wouldn't have been able to do it without the money, for sure.
Cool.
Don't miss the NCPA National Championships April 19th through the 21st at Central Florida Paintball in Lakeland, Florida. Sign up now at ncapaintball.com.
Hey guys, it's Dave Baines. What makes the Virtue Spire the best loader in paintball? Not only is the Spire smaller and lighter than the leading competitors, but with a true 200 round capacity, it holds more paint as well. Find out more at virtuespire.com.
What's up? This is Greg with Impact. What makes the Virtue Spire the best loader in paintball? Not only is the Spire smaller and lighter than the leading competitors, but with a true 200 round capacity, it holds more paint as well. Find out more at virtuespire.com.
So Tampa Bay damage 1 point away from taking out Chicago Aftershock in both teams' first game of the 2013 season. 12 minutes and 20 seconds remain, but Chicago Aftershock is really going to have to turn up the tempo of this game if they want to even get past this point. And on the breakout, both teams pushing up that center of the field, but Chicago Aftershock going all the way, almost to the 50-yard line.
I like it.
Yeah.
At least meet him in the middle there. Try to slow him down for at least 10 seconds, 15 seconds. I like it. It's a great move.
And we haven't seen anybody do that, but he got up there totally clean. He didn't have any issues, but now he's starting to lose his players behind him, and then he finally gets shot at as well.
Oh, boy.
And there's a minor penalty to end it. So that's the nail in the coffin here for Chicago Aftershock.
Yep, nail in the coffin. You said it right. I mean, that's
pretty
right
much
there.
a destruction. After those major penalties, that was it.
Yeah.
Chicago was done for.
I don't think there was a coffin. I think it just incinerated everybody.
Just nuclear bombed them after the penalties.
Yeah, that was it. It was over for them. Damage was just off to the races. It's opening day at Del Mar in Dallas.
Minor penalty there at the end of that point. And what are you going to do if you're Shock? That's it. Last guy left alive, just out there wheeling and dealing.
Hey, it was at 3-1. It was a good game until they started getting penalties. Majors, you can't get majors, but you can't get back-to-back majors.
Well. Yeah, and so congratulations to Tampa Bay Damage. They look great, and Shock is going to have to go back to the drawing board. Next up, we got Omaha Vicious going to take on Edmonton Impact, and Impact came out, put a beating on Moscow Red Legion in their first matchup, and that all-star squad is looking very solid. We haven't seen Omaha Vicious yet, so this is going to be their first game, and that team is, if you look at them on paper and look at their performance last season, they're performing better than they ever have. And I think that if they can just stay hungry and understand where they're at right now, realistically, which is, hey, we are stacked with a ton of talent. Everyone's starting to get that final leg of the experience you really need to become a top team, and that confidence that you need to exert your skill and experience and perform when need be. They're there.
Yep.
Now, as long as they come in super hungry this year, and understanding that, hey man, they have the talent that they need to contend. They have a wrecking ball front lineup.
Do they have an
Shane
injury,
Colby.
though?
Yeah, they do have an injury. Chris Hooker is back. Is Karen Bortle, one of the owners of that team, and a paintball patron, came up to us and said, this is the first event that Chris Hooker is going to miss in, I think it was 7 years.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, they're going to lose one of their big guns off the line. Now, if they had to lose Chris Hooker for any event, this might be the event to do it, but there's no back center.
Yeah.
So, but still, Hooker's gun is just so ridiculously effective off the break that is going to hurt their team. Can the rest of the team step up? We're going to find out when we come back from this. We'll see you in just a few minutes.